feature we're going to talk about is the Aldelo Express AI Tip Adjust. Now, we've talked about this and we've mentioned it before, but we've never really dove into it. We're going to do a little bit of that today. Uh, Aldelo is seen as the industry's leader in AI technology integrated into the point of sale system. We've done a real good job of taking some of the technology that AI brings to the table and applying that to our software, making it a very usable situation, very usable software. We have facial recognition as part of our package. This actually eliminates or pretty much eliminates the buddy punching of clocking in someone who's not actually at the restaurant. It also makes the manager come to the terminal to where the authorization of a discount or something is needed. So you do have that facial recognition requirement to go and have that approval for the voids and refunds. So it is a good feature to have. Then there's menu item completion. This is where you start typing the name of an item, and then the system will look into our database of all our different menus and suggest what that item name would be. So you start typing the letters for taco, TAC, and it's going to give you then suggestions for what that word menu item should be. Then we have the menu creation, which goes a whole lot further. This is actually taking the iPad and using the camera on the back of the iPad to scan or read the menu. And it then will create the categories, the item description, and the price, all that for you in a matter of seconds. So it is a really good tool for creating a menu for the restaurant. Then once the menu is created, if down the road they have a change in prices, rescan the new menu and it will look and match the name of the item and then update the price. One other feature or use of this is if you want to create a special menu for an event, such as Mother's Day, you can type out or write out the menu for Mother's Day with the item name, description, and price. And the system will read that new menu and insert those as a temporary menu for you. So it has a lot of features that are really useful for creating a menu. But what we're going to talk about today is the AI tip adjust. This is using the artificial intelligence to read the handwritten guest check, enter the amounts, and balance those to what they should be. We've never really shown it in the detail we are today. This really does have some benefits. It does dramatically speed up the server checkout at the end of the night or end of their shift. So it does help a great deal in getting them out of there quickly. And its accuracy, it will actually do the math of what the subtotal is plus the handwritten tip to the corrected amount for the total of the bill. We're going to show how that works here in a minute when we have Rodney do his portion. But this will dramatically affect the accuracy and then correcting the honest mistakes. And then there's the dishonest ones, the ones who have the servers who adjust the tip before it goes to the end of the night. They'll add up to the tip or add on to that in maybe a not so honest way. So this eliminates or reduces the theft via the tips. And then it also reduces chargebacks by keeping the total, the amounts that the customer wrote, using those as the basis for this. You'll see just how it can reduce the amount of chargebacks that a restaurant gets. So selling AI Tip Adjust, you should sell this on every system because it's included with the Aldelo Express. It's one of those gimmies. It's like a gimme putt on a golf course. You never ever look bad at somebody who's going to give you this. This is something you should show and should push on every sale because it's included and it really will benefit the table service type restaurants. There's nothing to turn on, it's just there. So you don't have to worry about where the flag setting is. There's nothing to turn on. Very little training. It takes probably less training to do this than it does to do the manual method because it is so automated. It does require a rear facing camera and it does work on Android. So let's take a look at it. Well, we have Rodney's prepared a good video for us. So let's take a look at that video.
So we're going to go ahead and demonstrate the AI tip adjustment here. There is no setting on the cloud that does need to be enabled. However, on the cloud, you do have to disable the customer-facing on-screen tip suggestion and entry. And you'll see that here. So under the settings, store config, financial config, under the integrated payments tab, you do have to turn off this setting here. If this is turned on, tip adjustments will be prompted on the screen and will not print out on the payment receipt, as this is required for the AI tip adjustment. So we're going to go ahead and log into the application. And I've already run some transactions. I'm going to go ahead and show you an image of the payment receipts for those transactions. So you'll see the 3 transactions here. As you can see on all the payment receipts, there is a scan line. And I'll show you once we get into the tip adjustment, how this lines up when scanning the ticket. All right, so this first one you see on the left, the total is correct. The second one, I purposely miscalculated the totals there. And the last one here, I wrote it as illegible as possible. And we'll see how the AI reads it and interprets it. So now we're going to go ahead and go into the cashier. So we're going to go into the miscellaneous, in the cashier, and we're going to go into the edit gratuity. So you're going to see a number of transactions here. To access the AI tip adjust, you just tap on the camera, and you'll see the yellow line here. That is where you're going to line up the scan line from the payment receipt. So we'll go ahead and start with the first one where the totals should match up correctly. And we'll line up the scan line there. And you'll see at the top it says success because the numbers match. And then we'll take the next ticket here where I miscalculated. We'll line up the scan line. And because the totals do not match, the information does have to be verified. You'll see that it adjusted the total from $93.50 to $93.60 to match the tip amount entered there. We can go and adjust the tip amount manually so that it matches the total. Then go and hit check to accept. And then we'll scan the last one where the ticket is illegible. You'll see it did pull up the information correctly, but because the information was not clear, it does ask to verify. We can go ahead and make the edits to the tip amount or just hit the check to accept. And you'll notice as I was pushing these through, it allowed us to scan the tickets consecutively without exiting. So this will speed up the tip adjustment process instead of going into the edit gratuity screen and manually changing them from this screen here.
Good job as always, bud. You guys appreciate it. These are 2 features that you really should be able to converse with the potential customer about, especially talking about the AI stuff. The artificial intelligence is something that sets us apart from other POS companies. That AI tip adjust is a biggie that we just haven't talked about before too much before today. I hope you have a better idea of how to use it, and that it is something that you should use now on every table service install that has tips.